In a small town in Maine, a new family moved into an old, creaky house at the edge of the woods. The previous owners had left in a hurry, but no one in the town could or would say why. The Johnson family didn't mind the rumors. They were just excited to start fresh. But from the first night, strange things began to happen. It started with small noises, scratches in the walls, footsteps on the stairs when no one was there. The Johnsons brushed it off as the house settling, but the youngest daughter, Emily, insisted she saw shadows moving in her room at night. Her parents dismissed it as childhood imagination, but Emily became more and more terrified as the days went on. One evening, while unpacking in the basement, Mr. Johnson found an old, dusty diary hidden behind a loose brick. The entries were from a woman who had lived there decades ago, and they became increasingly frantic, describing a presence in the house that couldn't be seen, only felt. The last entry was smeared with something dark, and it simply read, "It's in the walls." That night, the noises grew louder. The scratching was no longer just a sound, but a violent tearing, as if something was trying to break through the walls. The family huddled together, too afraid to sleep. Then, the lights went out. In the pitch darkness, they heard a low, guttural growl, followed by a series of thuds, footsteps, but heavier than any humans. Emily screamed, pointing to a shadowy figure in the corner of the room. The father shined a flashlight, but the light seemed to dim as it neared the shadow. The figure didn't move, but the air around it seemed to thicken, making it hard to breathe. Panicked, the family fled the house, but as they reached the front door, it slammed shut on its own. They were trapped. The walls began to shake, and the growling grew louder, now coming from all around them. Desperate, they ran upstairs to the only room with a window that wasn't boarded up. Just as they reached it, the shadow figure appeared in front of them, blocking their escape. Its eyes were empty, and its mouth stretched into a grotesque smile. In a final act of desperation, Mr. Johnson threw himself at the figure, but he passed right through it as if it wasn't there. The shadow vanished, and the house fell silent. The family, terrified and confused, broke the window and climbed out, running to the neighbors for help. When they returned with the police the next day, the house was empty, completely cleared out, as if no one had ever lived there. The diary was gone, and the walls were intact, with no signs of damage. The only clue left behind was a single word scratched into the front door: stay. The Johnsons left town that same day, and the house remained vacant. But the locals swear that at night, if you listen closely, you can still hear the scratching in the walls, waiting for the next family to move in.